He made the play, the dynamic game ending, although there was still one more snap for Baylor to take against Oklahoma State to win the Big 12 championship. But Jairon McVea, the McPlay, as famous a play in Baylor football history, joins us on Sic'Em 365 Radio and 365 Sports. And he was in Waco, in fact, this week, going to start working back on his master's degree. Jairon, we're with Craig Smoke, Paul Catalina. I'm David Smoke. Thank you very much for your time. So you told me earlier this week you were like, what, one class, I guess, or was it 1 point away from your master's degree?
Yeah, I'm one credit hour away from my master's right now. I have to defend my thesis in the geology department. So I have a great advisor, Dr. Joe Yelderman. He's going to help me finish this thing off, and hopefully I can graduate in December.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Jairon, I wanted to ask you this, and I loaded up the play so you can hear it. This is what, people on television heard. We were in the press box. We were just kind of sitting, gobsmacked at everything that was going on. But I want to know your reaction to hearing this highlight.
Man, chills. That's the first thing that I feel, man. Every time I see that clip on Twitter or anywhere on the internet, my heart starts beating fast. It's almost like I'm there again, It's a great play. I'm just thankful I can make that play for my teammates and coaches and all of Baylor Nation. So, man, chills hearing that again.
Jared, how did that change your life in some ways? I mean, not like, you became a millionaire because of that play or, anything like that. But, I mean, just the amount of attention that you received after the fact and the recognition. And, I mean, just what was that like in the aftermath of that game, the amount of people, I'm sure, that congratulated you in some form or fashion?
Yeah, I would say it changed my life, man. Everyone who's seen that play and knows me is just excited when they see me and always coming up to me like, how'd you do it? Or what were you thinking? Even whenever I was with the Rams, coaches would come up to me, man, that was the greatest play I've seen. It was crazy. So I think it has changed my life for the better. And I'm just thankful for Baylor Nation and, everyone who supported me along the way to get there.
Did you think you'd made it when you did? Like, was your first, what did you know? Because obviously you're behind him. You can't really see where he landed.
Yeah, if you watch the video closely, you can kind of see my helmet is knocked toward the pylon. I actually saw him miss the pylon with the split second that I was in the air, and then I kind of rolled over, and then I kind of looked up, and the next thing I saw was the official making the sign that wasn't a touchdown, and that's when I knew for sure that he didn't make it. So, man,
do you ever fall asleep at night and he actually did score?
No, I've not had that. I've not had that thing.
I've seen a lot of Baylor fans say every time they watch it, they're like waiting for the ball to touch the pylon. It's like it was such a dramatic play. I was going to ask you this, and I should have asked you this even back in January or after the game. What if he would have stopped and cut back? Were you still in pretty good position, the leverage to make that play?
Yeah, I think I was in perfect position. If he would have stopped and cut back, he would have been tackled, even further from the pylon than that. So I think he knew he had to make a dive at the pylon and just kind of dived past. I got a little piece of him, but he knew that he had to dive to the pylon because I was right there and I was gaining ground on him.
Did you tug just a notch of his collar? Just enough?
I don't know. It has to be some complex physics equation. I did tug his collar just a little bit. Maybe that redirected him outside the pylon. I have no idea, but I did get a piece of him, just the smallest of pieces. So I don't know what that grand equation is, but it was just enough to make him miss.
What was the experience like, even though I know that it wasn't, a long time, but being with the Super Bowl champions in camp?
Oh, man, amazing. Those guys, the professionals up there, the coaching is just top notch. I mean, they were Super Bowl champs for a reason, and every level of that organization is just top notch. Everyone there was great. It was a great experience.
So, Jairon, did you anticipate that you were going to get an undrafted free agent deal? I mean, did you anticipate that throughout the draft, the combine, and that whole process that you were going to get a little bit of time, or was that, almost a pleasant surprise in some way?
I'd say it was a pleasant surprise. You know, I've always dreamed of making it to the NFL, and playing in those 2 preseason games was amazing, man. Mm-hmm. Making plays. They even shouted out to McVea in one of those games, which was crazy to me. But yeah, I knew that I wanted to be a free agent, but once I got that call, it was kind of a surprise and a relief to me.
What was the moment like? Because obviously they brought you in for a reason, and then it's a business. What was that day like for you? What was said to you, and what did you say to the Rams?
Man, I said thank you. You know, they brought me in, and Coach McVea and let me talk to me and said I did a great job up there. They just had to get rid of me because of numbers. They had so many young safeties, but they said that they thought I could play in the league. So that was a great thing hearing from, you know, the head coach and the general manager. So it was just really a good experience all around.
Our partners, Brian Etheridge, Colt Barber, Ashley Hodge, and of course, a lot of the members of Sic'Em 365, the website, you had that signature series, and those things, the collective is fantastic. I mean, it's beautifully done. Your signature was on hundreds or a few thousand of them. What did that mean to you to have that in your name, basically, in that moment?
Oh man, I was so thankful for Sic'Em 365 putting that together. First off, and you know, every time I see one of those pictures or I see a tweet of people thankful, or you know, that their present came in the mail, or that they were able to get that picture for a Baylor fan they love, man, I'm just excited and happy for them, and I'm happy I can make that play for them, man.
This is kind of, people are talking in the chat room. TJ Harris, one of it's an Oklahoma State fan, and he is, we've given him indigestion by playing again. But do you feel that because of that game and because of the way the Big 12 will be completely new in the next couple of years, that might have kicked off even a hotter rivalry between you guys and Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Sure. Those guys are chomping at the bit to try to get another piece of Baylor, and I know our guys have been training and working hard to, you know, defend what we did last season. So I know that the rivalry is probably bigger than what it was before that play.
Jairon, I mean, from back when you started, you've seen various eras of Baylor football, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, literally. And to know where you started as a walk-on, playing in that game against Liberty, and then all the way to the very end and playing in a Sugar Bowl and beating Ole Miss to win a championship. I mean, what a roller coaster. I don't even know what my question is so much as just is it hard to kind of wrap your head around what the last 5-6 years has been like?
Yeah, it really is, man. Like you said, it's been a roller coaster, ups and downs. 1-11 to the greatest season in Baylor history. That's kind of crazy to think about, and be a part of that. All that history is just an amazing feeling, and I'm thankful for the ups and downs that Baylor has brought to me, and all the lessons I've learned, and the people that I've met here. So it's been a great ride.
So you want to get that master's for obvious reasons, defend your thesis, but what if somebody else calls you?
Oh man, I'm gone. And Dr. Joe, my advisor, he's really supportive of my dreams. He knows that if I do get a call, that I can come back at any time, and I'm dedicated on finishing that. He's taking great care of me, so I know that even if I go and get another chance, that I'm going to come back and finish my degree for my parents and myself, and for him also, because he's taken a big role in my education. So I'm thankful for that.
What are your early on career goals outside of football?
Once I get this degree, hopefully work somewhere in Houston with my geology degree and my geology master's. So that should really take off for me once I finish this last little part of my education.
Jairon, there's a lot of leagues out there now. Are you still interested in playing just football, period? Let's say if the XFL opportunity arises, or is it kind of NFL or career in your mind?
Yeah, it's more NFL or career. If I don't get that call to my agent, I'm happy with going into the workforce with my geology degree, and finding a way to help whatever company I go to. Geology
degree, as in getting into the oil business?
Yeah, that could be a possibility. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it, but I like that idea, and geographic information systems. I took a couple classes with that, and I really enjoyed that aspect of my degree. So, my options are open.
You, in your time with the Rams, it's not like you were just there as a body. it was a numbers game. It's a business. We mentioned this, but I just got a text from your father, Danny. He had 5 or 6 tackles in a couple of quarters of game time. So you had success. I bet somebody will see that on tape.
Yeah, I did have quite a bit of tackles. It was a great experience, and being out there on the NFL stage, man, was just amazing. So, yeah, I had success, and I'm thankful for the Rams for bringing me in and letting me, show off some talent.
I'm glad that you weren't at Rams practice yesterday because Aaron Donald and Lyle Collins got into a fight, and Aaron Donald had helmets in both hands just whacking away at people. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, man. It's crazy.
I mean, automatically I thought I would really rather be on the Rams right now.
Yeah. I don't think he knew who was in.
Yeah, but of all the guys that would get mad, that's the one I wouldn't want to. But yeah, you got to meet some person. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, a huge personality. You got to work with him directly. What was that like?
And he's a great guy. He's a great competitor and extremely skilled and knowledgeable about their defense, man. Being in the room with him was great, and I got to learn from him and got to see how he operates. And those are skills you can take and use for yourself. So, yeah, being around, the greats like Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald were just great to see how those guys operate. The best of their position, best of their craft.
Was that fun running into? Because I believe your last game was against the Texans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that fun?
Yeah, I saw Petey.
Yeah. I was going to say, I saw Petrie, and they got Graylin Arnold over there as well. I mean, was that cool running into those guys?
Yeah, it was great seeing them.
That was,
just getting their dreams come true and getting to shake their hand on the field was great, man. We were both smiling, all 3 of us.
that Twitter picture of the 3 of you got a bunch of attention because so much popularity among those particular names, faces, and what you guys brought to the table. I'm not sure if you read this or not, but the Heartland, Matthew Postins wrote an article, and it kind of got into the last play, the stop the McPlay. So it's kind of eliminating really that when maybe stuff is kind of going crazy and all of it, the one guy that always has kind of been there, that guy was the guy. So I'm thankful for that. Talking about you, if there was a door to be opened, Jairon opened it. If it was trash in the ground, he would pick it up. If a meeting started at 8, he was there at 7:50. If it was 8, he's there with a pencil, his paper open. He's always been that guy. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, just knowing that is seen and that rubs off on people is just great to know. I always try to do my best in anything I do and everything I do. That's kind of what's been instilled in me between my parents and the coaching that I've had. So it's just good to know that's seen and other people see it and it rubs off on people around me. So it's great to hear.
Jairon, I know you got to run here pretty soon, but just what do you feel like the state of Baylor football is? I mean, you get in the rest of your guys like Graylin, for example, and obviously Petey and Terrell and JT and various others. You guys definitely left it better than you found it ultimately in the long run. Just what do you think about the state of Baylor football, and how do you feel about Dave Aranda, having gotten to know him the past couple of years and seeing the turnaround that the program's made underneath him?
Yeah, I'm feeling great about it, man. I'm excited. I know all those young guys are just ready to do their thing, man. I'm super excited, and I know the state of Baylor football is in a great place with Coach Aranda and all his assistant coaches and the players who are there who make up the culture. Everyone in that locker room is headed in the right direction. I know they're on the same wavelength, and I know they want to win games, man. So I can't wait to watch them. I can't wait to see what they do this year.
So if a young athlete in high school or a young player in college, and it's the off-season conditioning, which of course can be brutal and test you as much mentally as physically, and you're pushing weights from one sideline to the other, or you're doing all you're doing. In the end, after all of what you'd been through with strength and conditioning, everything, and then you make that play, can you try to describe that to a young athlete who's like, this isn't worth it? This is crazy. How much all of that may have led to that one extra inch that you were able to stop a play?
Yeah, I just tell them that that's just an example of showing that everything counts. Everything you do, every extra piece of film you watch, every extra weight you do, every extra rep you do, everything you do counts, and anything you miss counts. And you can't usually add that up into an actual value, but I feel like that play shows that there is a value to those things you do, to being 10 minutes early to a meeting, to showing love to your teammates, to hanging out with your coaches, even after the meeting. Everything has, it thumbs up, and that play, I feel like, has all those things coming to fruition. So that's what I tell those players, and I try to show them that everything does count. It's not just something people say. It does add up in the end.
You have a future, no question, in geology with that degree, a master's, and whatever you do with it. And of course, if the NFL calls, that's fantastic. But you have set yourself up for success, and that's not a surprise. Jairon, we appreciate you very, very much. Great to have you on the show, and enjoy the upcoming, college football season, watching Baylor, and hopefully you do get another call. We appreciate your time.
Sir, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Sic'Em 365.
You too, Jairon McVea. Brian Etheridge, I'll never forget one time